Awesome. All right. I got to check this out today. I'm in the middle of the cave. I got my fancy new microphone so I can hear myself a little bit better. And I'm going to be hanging out and doing some stuff. And I don't know how to do the rest of this. We're working on graphics, we're working on all the other things. Going to have a couple of people help me out. That's going to be nice. In the meantime, what do you want me to do? I'm going to probably check out what's going on. A couple of other things here. I was just going to play some Xbox, some OG Bully, and see what everything's going on. I got to kill this light, though. That took longer than I needed it to, but what are we going to do? I don't really care that much. All right. All right. This doesn't seem to be helping. So, in the meantime, that would make some sense. Definitely trying to figure out the best possible ways to do this. Okay. So that's the chat. Okay. Nobody knows I'm here, and I don't care. I'm just going to do my thing. So I'm going to do the whole live thing on Facebook. This is awesome because I got this side, I'm going this way. I got this side going this way. I'm probably, I think, trying to learn Twitch too at the same goddamn time. So let's see what we can do here. All right. Gonna play some video games and hang out because I'm bored. And I got this going on one side. I got this going on the other side. Let's do this. All right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna not even care about this or this for now. I'm just gonna play some Xbox because I'm bored. Nice. Some professional audio. And I gotta fix something. Shout out to Matterhorn Apothecary in Wilmington, Vermont. Matterhorn Apothecary, Wilmington, Vermont is the coolest. All right, we're going old school Xbox. We're playing Bully on my new Xbox system. Well, it's not new. I got it like. Shout out to Justin Anthony with the awesome Xbox hookup, by the way. Yeah, I don't know how to do the streaming thing, so I'm just gonna play. If anybody wants to talk to me, go at it. This light is egregious.
Tard, hey, lame boy.
Perfect. Might be checking out a movie later on. I don't know. Figuring everything out. It's such a pain in the ass. It doesn't help that I drop everything too. I am live streaming Bully. I've done nothing. It's like Grand Theft Auto without the massive amounts of gratuitous nonsense violence. They just don't really need to be there. Yikes. Oh, shit. So, what's going on here? I also suck at playing video games sometimes. All right.
Useless sissy.
Mr. Hedrick called me?
One day. Bunch of thieving jerks. What's up, Melvin? Greetings. Jimmy, listen. Some ruffians took it upon themselves to steal my Grottos and Gremlins character sheets and won't return them.
Grottos and Gremlins character sheets is kind of funny.
Grottos and Gremlins? Well, you are sad. Sad? I'm distraught. Role-playing is the high point of human achievement. In fact, upon reflection, I am prepared to offer a bag of groats to the fair knight, whomsoever recovers his precious screens. Do you accept the quest? How much? 10 groats. What? I mean $10. Wait here. And you can have your pick of my wenches. Great.
Guy wants wenches.
Alright, you got something on Melvin's. Give it up.
Give Melvin his stuff back. I'm gonna beat that tar out of you.
He keeps him in the nuts. You kick him in the nuts until you get some. You win, you get the shit. If not, we keep it. That's just stupid. Maybe, but I go first. What do I know what this is about this?
So Bully is basically a game where you're living the life of a kid that got sent to a boarding school, and you were an asshole at your old school, so you're an asshole at your new school too. But they already knew that, so you're already like you're the bully. But you're not though. You're a good dude. You know, it's misunderstood. I don't know that. All right, game's kind of dope. But yeah, everybody can say hello and hang out. Just getting bored. Can't go outside because it's a crazy situation right now. It really wasn't that bad. Yesterday, I almost got flooded. That sucked. Driving around. No bueno. Yeah. Gotta find Homeboy's character sheets. Yeah, it sucks. Alright. Then I remember I got a skateboard in this game. It was like deuces. Tony Hawk once. Get ollie and everything. Oh, you eat shit really, you really easily. I don't know. This is extremely like I have a screen. I look so stupid right now, but I don't care. I'm playing video games. My friends want to bullshit with me. Feel free.
Oh, come on! There's magic, Gwen. We have to be Show me. Are you hurting yet?
All right, so it looks like I got all the stupid things I'm supposed to get. That's kind of cool. Where I gotta go? My boy. What's my current task? Retrieve. All right, where they at? Where the fuck are they? Oh, is one of them in the girls' fucking bathroom or some shit?
You can't just sneak over here, nerd. You run like my triple grandma. Some hero you are. Come on, right here. Come on.
Totally lost. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. So you also have to go to classes in this game? I suck at that.
Come on, at least try to catch me. Some hero you are. I'm right here. Some hero you are. Come on.
Pick high school lockers. Pick the locks. It's kind of cool. What in the heck am I looking for? I don't know.
Glasses. You can't hide.
I don't hate the soundtrack on this. It kind of sounds like The Cure, so I dig it. Yeah, this totally sounds like The Cure song.
I won't stop until you are apprehended. Stop the name of Bulwark Academy. Police blotter.
Oh no, I got busted. It sucks. Shout out to Danny Lee. I just got your notification on the other thing. That's funny.
Hopkins, tedious.
I was hoping I wouldn't see you for a while. Let's see what your rap sheet says.
Good suit to rap
Causing
sheet.
property damage? Who do you think you are, young man? You actually made someone vomit. That's just disgusting. Go see the punishment prefect. Perhaps he can improve your attitude.
The punishment
And I want you to
prefect?
stay out of
What is
trouble
that
from
even?
now on.
Time to pay back the faculty for all their kindness. I don't think you know what kindness means.
Are they giving me, because 7% of the grass, hold the mow, steer over.
Hopkins, you're done.
Hey Sylvie, what's going on? I'm playing video games. What's going on?
My work
How's
here
my
is
pal? All right, so we got that to do. We got that to do. Why so serious? Just playing some. I get into my games, Sylvie. I get into my games. What can I say?
addicted to breathing, huh? Take the dirt.
All right, so
Bunch of thieving jerks. What's up, Melvin? Ah,
I got my ass kicked on this one last time. I can't have that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one was right around the corner here.
Alright, you got
The
something
Rochambeau,
wrong.
we did this.
Alright, I'll give it to you. You beat my friend in a little game. He kicks you in the nuts.
Rochambeau.
You kick him in the nuts.
What's been good, Sylv? Give me the scoop.
Not weak. That's just stupid. Alright, go first. That's a funny Stop right there. Okay, you win. I give up. You like that? Drop that plug. Do ya? So much stuff just lying
Alright,
around.
that's that.
This is the funnest piece of paper I've ever had. What? You forgot your plus. You were almost caught. You can't catch. Really do care. See this wall. See ya. Stop that. Hey, that's cheating. Stop that collection. Stop that. I love that. It's the key to the universe.
What? 2 jobs. Where are you working now? Give me the scoop. I gotta know where my friends are working so I know I can get all the hookups. Everybody used me for a hookup for 100 years, so now I'm gonna use everybody else for theirs. It's gonna be awesome. I was just talking to Heidi today.
What are you? Oh, come on! These magic plants. Why do you have to be so mean? Because it's incredibly amusing. You better collect this.
Dill! Hey, buddy. Should definitely give her a call. CBS and Old Navy, huh? Good to be you, kid. Keep grinding. You buy a house yet? No, because you would have told me. Dylan, what are you doing, you silly little bear? Playing bully. Uh-oh, this is got to gearing me up for some sort of boss battle. Yep. Oh, they're just going to gang up on your boy. Then you get a bully. I'm bailing out water on my patio. Now I gotta go see my boy Melvin back at the Nerd Castle. Dylan, that was an insane situation that you showed me with the flooding and all that. The video you sent, holy crap! I do not envy. This is why I decided to make my residence inside the bunker hall of a giant building where no one, and I am completely secluded and no one knows where I am. It's the greatest thing in the world. Okay. Oh, I have no idea. Keeping my mouth a little bit. You should have bought a house too, Dylan. Buy a house. Let's go. All right. The life advice today for everybody is buy a house with Brendan, because that makes sense. And no, that's about it. Do that. Follow and subscribe on all the channels that I'm doing. And sooner rather, like the first couple of weeks, I'm literally going to be on here just kind of messing around, just kind of getting used to things, and then getting equipment and the things that I want to have in while the media team is putting up all the graphics. And so right now I'm just kind of getting people used to seeing me on a stream, I think is what we've decided. Yes. You wish. What do you wish? You wish you were still hanging around and we were still playing all the time. Because we have time. Because we were young, Dylan. We were young, and man, we thought we knew everything. How's things going with everything else, bro? You good? I gotta tell you, we do have to have a conversation offline on something very, very interesting. You're missing the point, though. This is what I tell everybody. You need to get but the cost of waiting is actually worse. So what's gonna, think about the time that you're not in the market now. You're not buying a property right now. What you're gonna end up seeing is that X amount of time. There's no good time. There's no good interest rate. There's nothing that's just, oh yeah, this is the perfect time to buy a house right now. You got to get in because you got to stop the bleeding of just paying a rental, dishing out money for somebody else that's not doing any sort of return. I miss Sardo Breck too so much. Listen, I don't know where Nolan is, but I can't even get into Content City. That's the whole thing. But getting back, no, if you don't get in and start building your equity, at some point you're missing out. So look, YouTube. Dylan, there's a YouTube channel you need to at least start looking at too. If you don't start building the equity or earning the equity at some point, it's never going to be, it's not going to be 3% like it was. But if you wait till it's 3% again, it was only 3% once. It's working its way back up and down while they play everything out. Inflation is in the market. We get that. But if you're not doing anything, you're making a mess. Okay. Buy something that you can, buy a condo, renovate it, something dumb like that. But in doing so, you're paying yourself something. You're getting some return on the investment, the tax benefits of just owning the property. It's going to make a big difference. Rentals are more than, Jen, you're right. They are more than the mortgages right now. And at some point, even if you're in on a high rate, you're refinancing it in a couple of years anyways. My parents, when they bought houses in the 1980s, and it was 15, 16, 20% on the interest rates. Now I get that but it's not though. You get in and you buy something. You build the equity, you pull the equity out, you make the improvements. And if there's a better refinance rate down the road, you refinance it. But doing nothing is the wrong move. And people that bought the last year before, they're seeing it. It's like, oh, now I'm living proof that right now I was paying too much in a rental. I had to make a better situation happen for myself. I have clients that are constantly buying in and out of, getting into properties right now. you have to do something. I mean, their real estate market is still cranking. Surprisingly, we're still all busy with no inventory and with really shitty rates, but people still need to buy and sell. Everybody right now, to be honest, the majority of everything I'm doing, people are dying, and we are going in and renovating dead people houses. To be very honest, I'm working with flippers, and we are buying things, and we are making the necessary improvements, and we're listing them on the other side. Pre-approval because of the state of the market. Dylan, I challenge you, bud. I say, get to the point where you can get a condo. I'm in a condo now. It's lovely. I love it. It's so much better than the other place down in Warwick where I was in. But I don't worry about a thing, man. Don't worry about a thing. So I suggest there's always something, and there is no one size fits all for everybody. It's a completely different move for. Okay, YouTube, we get it. Nobody's watching me there. It's a completely different move for everybody, but get the approvals done. You know that. Get a realtor that understands what you're doing and what your overall goal is. Then you put your pin in the map, man. Once you have your approval, you're not where you want to be yet. You fix it to the point where you are. You start changing habits. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody just wants. Not you, but this is what I see. Everybody wants the big baller house, MTV Crib style, but nobody wants to change the spending habits to get that house. So I was the worst person with money because I lived the nightlife scene for so long. There was no saving money. It just didn't happen. We weren't saving money. It's ridiculous. But the people that did, they were smart. They made moves, man. So once you figure out how money works, how to fix your situation, how to curb spending, how to realize, I'm a huge proponent of like Rocket Money, that app that's on there now that tells you where your money's going, or Mint on the. Those are game changers. Get yourself one of those kind of apps. Those are fantastic. And see where your paycheck's going. See where the money's going. Because it was eye-opening for me how much money I was spending on stupid things. Excuse me. That a quick budget fixed. And now I don't have the problems that I did. Wondering this, that, and the other. Now everything comes in. I know where it goes. And it's just a... I should have listened. People told me to be smart a long time ago, and I was not. Now I'm just basically picking up all the pieces, figuring out the things that I was screwing up on, and I'm fixing them. And in real time, I can chart the data and see what works and what doesn't. So basically, I'm just going to take the approach of improvement to like every aspect of life and see what's going. I lost 100 pounds. And I cleaned up my act a whole lot. It's all because I'm just hey, Court, how are you? Courtney likes hanging out. I love it. Courtney Lynn Mayette is such a good person. Everybody that's on here right now is a rock star and is an awesome person. So I appreciate that. Hey, guys. But yeah, anybody that else has questions, I mean, I'll sit here and talk real estate the entire time. I don't care. But if you guys have any questions, feel free. That's a tangent there. So Dylan, if you want to set me up on another one, or Courtney or Jen, if you're still there, go for it. How is everything at Evo? How was my team doing? How was Titans? Bunch of new level 7s. I'm great. You know what? How's Tara? How's Tara? Tara Lee, Courtney. The three of us got us in trouble. You were one of the most fun but cool kids back in those days. I'm very appreciative. Dylan, we do have to have a conversation. Yeah. But I did miss, give a big update. I did schedule my knee surgery, but I'm going to kick it out a little bit, a couple months, because I have to go to Florida on vacation / business at the end of September. And I wasn't going to be on a boat Oh my God, tell Tara I was asking for her. That's wicked good. No, I wasn't going to be on a cruise ship with a busted knee or like a knee surgery. So I made a conscious effort to get a cortisone shot at the end of the month and go on my trip. And then from there, I get my surgery in December. So I probably won't be skiing too much this Christmas. But I'm not worried about it. It'll be a good time regardless. Yeah, man. Other than that, I missed out on Titans. I did not get a chance to. I just hurt myself again right before that was going on, and it was not happening. I hurt myself last year at Titans right at the end, and it only got progressively worse. So I'm going to do the smart thing for the first time in my life and not do that. Now that I'm straight edge, I only spend money on your car. I love that, Dylan. I love that. Elon. Good. Dude, the coupe got totaled? I didn't know that. Oh my God. Well, you painted off as good, but that sucks, dude. Were you hurt? That sucks. However, it was okay. Holy shit. But oh my God. I really hope you weren't. I was in a car accident. And car accidents suck, let me tell you. And so you don't get paid. You really don't get. You pay off the thing that you don't have anymore, and then after I needed surgery, I'm not physical therapy to put my pieces back together. It's a whole. Let me see here. Yeah, I would have never have gotten hit. I had just had my car for 5 days. 5 days I got my car. Smash. Boom. Gone. So, like, having the whole rental bullshit that I had to deal with, that was not fun. I would have much rather have not gotten $1 and just had my life not interrupted. So I hope that you were okay, brother, because that's a mess. Courtney, what's wrong with your hair? I don't know that there was anything wrong with your hair. I am actually going to do something. I'm going to go take a look. Just had my life not interrupted. So I hope that you were okay, brother, because that's a mess. Courtney, what's wrong with your hair? I'm listening to my old feedback. I'm actually going to do something. I'm going to go take a look. All right, there we go. That was a mess. I am going to go take a look at what's going on here. Mikey Briz. Let me see, Courtney. What was wrong with your hair? I didn't see nothing wrong with your hair. Nothing's wrong with it. It just split. Oh, no. Let me see. I'm going to go look you up right now. You got a new picture of it? Oh, you did the red and the black? Oh, a little Harley Quinn action. Looks good. Good for you, kid. Happy birthday. I'm going to put a like on that one. And I like this one, too. We used to have so much fun. Oh, my God. Let me see here. I just avoided head-on collision too. No way, Dylan. Yeah, bro, that's a little insane. We did get in a lot of trouble, that's for sure. Listen, we're just old now. There's plenty of trouble that we can still get into. I'm assured. I have really good lawyers. It's fine. Dylan, speaking of segueing into lawyers, yeah, good. Sue the shit. What was the guy's excuse? I can only imagine. I'm glad you're okay, brother. Hold on. Now, let me see what's good here. Yeah. That was a good time. I'm thinking of. I was just talking. Like I said, Al B was on last night, and that was a good time talking about Joe and Gio, JAT guys. Man, that's the one thing that people still talk to me about to this day all the time. Was, oh, remember you with the Jack guys? Like, because they were really, really, really cool, and I'm glad that I just got to know those guys because, they are the most acrobatic, crazy, but they're the nicest dudes ever, and like. To have that level of female attention and still be like normal as they were, like those guys were the equivalent of like meat to the female population of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, worldwide. Why am I limiting them? They've been everywhere. They've done everything. Jerry Springer show, rest in peace, Jerry Springer. That was a tough one, Jerry. Who was your favorite TV talk show growing up? Because I've got a couple of really good ones. I loved Jerry. A baseball went under his brake pedal, and he was trying to move it, and he hit me with no brakes and drove off. Somebody eventually stopped him. Wow, bro. Or did he get arrested? That's a hit and run. Had to have been arrested. Sounds extremely sus is right, bro. Extremely sus. It's like a threat from Big Rock. It's kind of sus. Like, you don't believe it. It's like, is it really going to... 5 people in the world got that reference, and you're one of them, bro. Ugh. I don't know, Dill. Okay. Corey. Very interesting. Very interesting. A lane violation. Bro almost killed you. And he drove away. I don't know, bro. That sounds like, I don't know. Corey, how are you? I hope you're well. Is everybody okay in this storm right now? Well, I appreciate everybody liking and spreading the word that Brendan likes to have cool conversations on Facebook, because this is probably going to be a thing I'm going to start doing a little bit more of, instead of just sitting here at the end of the night having a million things go through my head. I'm probably just going to start having some live conversations with some people. I'm awesome. This is cracking me up. Well, good. Oh, listen. Corey was one of the coolest models. And actually, I knew Corey. Corey was one of the original Bike Night models from the Saints and Sinners Red Room days. If you can remember, if you've been with Brendan long enough, because I knew it was going to develop into nightlife stories at some point. I just wasn't sure when we were going to get to that point, but it always does. But yeah, we had the craziest. Hold on. I don't know. I got Instagram blowing up too right now. We had some of the craziest stuff going on back in those days. And the bike night that I put on at just under the highway, it was Fox Place. If you knew where that was, right next to the Civic Center, it was the coolest place in the world to host a weekly bike rally in the middle of Providence. How we got the ability to do this, well, I know how, but we had very, very, very good connections where we needed to have connections to pull that off. Shout out to the owners of Saints and Sinners throughout the years. Mark Sacco, Rick Sutherland, who now still is a proprietor in the city. Dusk. If you've ever been to Dusk, you love Dusk. Dill, be good, buddy. We definitely talk off the wire soon. We got a couple things to talk about. Corey is probably one of the most talented gymnasts / just overall athletic people I've ever witnessed. And this was 10 plus years ago when I could still be impressed by things. And now today she continues to still be impressive now. So that was a very cool experience. But the level of like control that you have in just body movement was just a sight to behold back in those days. I'm glad. Listen, I'm always, when you get the notification that I come on, always feel free to jump on and say hello. Because anybody that's following me and wants to have a conversation with Brendan, I usually make myself pretty available when I can. So good for that. But yeah, every time you just had, you were a next level athlete, which was so impressive. But then you always had fun hair and you had fun tattoos and you were just a killer whenever we needed you. The camera loved you. You were great. So hats off to you. I'll never associate with the person who introduced you to me ever again, but that was another story for another day. But yeah, and then later on, when I got the rub to become a photographer, we did a photo shoot together, and I will say this: some of the best photos I've ever shot in my life. That I completely me, all of my idea, our mirror photo. Oh, dude, that's one of the coolest pictures I've ever taken, ever edited. That was I still to this day. That's one of the ones where I'm like, we did great work that day, pal. We did great work that day, and such a cool chick. So yeah, it's been a long time. Who else do we have? Everybody check in. Who's here? Say hi. If you want, got 3 people watching, but I don't know where to check to see who's on. So the only way I can tell is who's talking to me. But in the meantime, I'm always up for a good chat. Let me see this here. Oh, we're at it. Daniel Ashworth. We have to have a conversation, sir, don't we? I think I need a new Larry. Bro. I love you too, Corey. You're one of the coolest. You are so good. Speaking of one of the animals that turned me into this animal, Danny Wood. Oh my Lanta. I was telling a vodka pong story the other day. Yeah, that's a good story, wasn't it? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, 2 knuckleheads that were complete knuckleheads that ended up getting their heads on straight and making something happen. Me and Danny Wood, let me tell you, because we were lunatics in the biz, got it started. Shout out to Mikey Riz, the lunatic. Oh, the infamous Brendan Phillips. I'll never forget it. A star was born. I'll tell you what, you want to know anybody that's watching this? Nobody's watching. If you're watching, I don't care. You want to know how I got started? I'm going to tell you a story. I'm sitting there. There's a couple of reasons to this. This was my start in nightlife, as most people know me. I had been in nightlife for about 10 years behind the scenes, just being a regular bouncer at places. Never got any clout, never really cared to, until I met the guys at Coliseum. I had worked the complex for years. In a previous iteration, before the Coliseum owners bought it, it was just a building that I knew very well. So when the time came that I was back in the city, I had just gotten off of doing tour with a band, and I did their security, which was kind of fun. Lots of chaos came out of that part of my life. I also did a lot of celebrity security too. When I did the horror movie and the circuit there, different things. Hooked up with some sales teams when we traveled the country selling T-shirts at horror movie conventions. This is one of the reasons I'm so into movies and things like that. I got to live this wicked cool life in like my mid to late 20s into my 30s that most people will never understand. Like if you have to kind of, this is why I'm still so tight with like people in nightlife, because you don't get the real world when you're like most people, they don't see how nightlife people see the world. Dan, you do remember vodka? I don't remember it either. But shout out to who was that? Giuseppe. the best cop in Brown University history. Shout out to Giuseppe. He's a great fisherman too. Love that kid. But if you weren't in nightlife, it's very hard to relate to a nightlife person. To be honest, it's actually caused chaos in my life, in my relationships, in 1,000, just because, like, you had to have been a lunatic to survive this. But we did. But Mr. Ashworth was one of the guys that showed me the ropes, and I'll tell you, I could not have had a better teachers than Dan Ashworth and Mike Rizzo. The coolest guys in the world. Coolest guys in the world. We could have been regular boring stiffs, brother. Remember that. We could have been. Let me see. Quick shout out. Hey, who's still in here? Say hello, throw a like up. And favorite movie. Caitlin Mello's watching. I love Caitlin Mello. Caitlin Mello's one of the coolest people in the world. I said it. So, everybody, what is your favorite movie? And I'm going to judge your movie preferences. This is a guy that likes to do basically the movie review, and I'll talk about it. We've talked about real estate so far. We've talked about some nightlife nonsense. I got some of the greatest stories for days. And you know what? I just might be dropping a very, very good one soon. But I don't want to waste them all. You can always have The Fifth Element is, of course you love that movie. Of course you love that movie. So we need to get you a brand new multi-pass. And we are going to go see the Diva on our giant space cruiser. Oh, what a movie. What a good movie that is. Corbin Dallas, Lilu. It was a good movie. Yeah. My ability, because of my ridiculous brain, I can pretty much, who else? Okay. So without cheating. Yeah. It was Mila Jovovich was the greatest. I first encountered her as a pop singer before she got into acting. She did, let's see, I was Boston Esplanade during the summer concert series one year. And she was performing, and she had a very cool little tune called The Gentleman Who Fell by Mila Jovovich. The chick, she's a gorgeous model. And she had the Gentleman Who Fell was a really cool little tune. So she got on the radar. All of a sudden, she starts to jump to acting. She gets the big bump in the Resident Evil franchise and all that stuff. A star was born. She's done a bunch of stuff since then. Not really. She's kind of typecast, but I'm not mad about it because I've enjoyed every single one of those movies. Even though they're terrible, they're not really good, but they're zombie movies. Who gives a, you got to actively try to make those kind of bad. But yeah, that was a great vehicle for her. Coming out of that, working with Bruce Willis, I mean, one of the GOATs, Bruce Willis. Name a bad Bruce Willis movie. You can't, because the bad ones are even good. Want to know why? The Whole 9 Yards is fantastic. Whole 10 Yards, same thing. Matthew Perry, Bruce Willis. See, this is what I do. I have such scatterbrain, and I have ADD. I'm going to go on a tangent about Matthew Perry in the final episode of Friends if I really wanted to. Touching. They all had a key. Oh, great. What else? Yeah. Fifth Element, Chris Tucker in a great role. Gary Oldman with that weird plastic thing on the side of his head and the giant cannon gun thing like on his arm. That was so cool. Very reminiscent of his inspector role in Leon the Professional, which was just such a kind of a descent into madness as he's trying to track. That's when I have to watch. That's in my queue to watch. I haven't watched The Professional in so long. Jean Reno, what a guy. What an actor. I love that stuff. What else? Anybody else that's on that wants to talk movies, go nuts. Post your favorite movie. Let's see if I've seen it. Let's see if I have it. If I have, or if you got a couple of the good ones, you want to see if I like them or not, I'll tell you. In the meantime, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not playing video games right now, so I should probably stop my live stream. That was fun. Twitch, I've never really done that. That really didn't do much for me. All right. I'm going to bust open my, what am I watching? People want to always ask me, Bren, what are you watching? So I'm going to tell you what I'm watching. I just finished season 2 of Yellow Jackets. Now, if you haven't seen fucking Yellow Jackets yet, let me tell you, excuse my language, but wow. Alive was always a really wicked concept to me. So if you've never seen the movie Alive, it's about the soccer team that gets stuck. Gio, we were just talking about Gio Torres. I love this kid. Gio, you are the man. I hope you are well. Bless you, my brother. Hope you're doing awesome. Just talking about how much fun we used to have on those Friday nights, man. You and Joa. I was talking to Al last night. It's awesome. But hope you guys are killing it still and eat a carbohydrate one of these days, my friend. All I'm asking. Sexy beast. So we're going to click into what I like to do. Everybody likes to see what the infamous opinion is on things. I'll give it to you straight. My Netflix queue right now, I haven't signed in on this one in a while. I hope it doesn't give me a bust my chops type scenario. Oh, and let me tell you, you know how good it is to get your, I got to sign into this. I just updated all of my HDMI cables to like good ones, and the difference it made was astronomical. So, hold on. I got to check this here. I'm trying to make my home a smart home too at the same time. And what an interesting situation that's been. I got to take a picture or something. All right, come on, Netflix, don't be a jerk. This is thrilling, I know. I can't get this. This is driving me nuts right now. There we go. Pain in the balls. Just to connect my thing to the thing. Sign to the TV. Let's go. All set. Dismiss it. All right. So, sorry about that quick delay there. So I'm hearing One Piece is fantastic. I don't know anything about One Piece as a show or a manga. I never checked it out. But enough people that I respect are telling me it's fantastic. So if you've checked it out, throw me some love. Let me know what you're thinking as far as this One Piece thing. Suits. Started Suits recently. And I love that show. Wicked good show. Let's see. The Netflix top 10 popular on Netflix right now. Pope's Exorcist was fantastic. Probably one of the best movies we've seen in all of 2022, 23. I think, was that 22? Or I think they came out in 23. Pope's Exorcist was fantastic. Definitely like that one. It feels like they're trying to build some sort of universe, like a world thing going on there. I'll let them. That was great. It was like The Exorcist on steroids. So very, very cool. Did to that one. Right now, looks like popular on Netflix, Anchorman 2. Anchorman 2 was not as good as Anchorman 1. I'll be the first one to admit that. Kind of stunk. Top Boy leads to intense gripping and relentless crime drama. Top Boy. That's usually, I know British guys that say Top Boy. So that's probably like a British show. I'll check that out. Who's this? All right, not my trending because I watched not only on Netflix. No, we're gonna get to my list. So, what is Bren watching right now? get some of this.
Mr. Fox.
Okay. So we're looking at Peaky Blinders is in my top spot right now because I can't bring myself to watch the final episodes. I don't want it to end. I'm a Peaky boy, and I don't want Peaky to end. I'm so bummed out at that. Black Mirror. I pop in, I pop out. I don't like to watch them in like 2 or 3. I like to digest those slowly, really get into the concept, and really work that through my head. That's probably my favorite way to watch a Black Mirror episode. And just let it sit. Supernatural. I love the idea of this show. It went for a long time, and it gets a little formulaic. And I think I checked out at some point around the Leviathan season, and I never picked it back up. And I start it, and I get about 3 of. Now I remember being obsessed with this show, and I think I like the idea of the Winchester brothers more than I don't know. I got to pick it up at some point. Haven't done it. Better Call Saul, I've never got into. It's sacrilege. I hear it's great. I saw El Camino. I saw all of Breaking Bad multiple times. Better Call Saul, I love the first season. Never picked it up after that. I will eventually pick it up. I know. The Witcher, first 2 seasons. Henry Cavill was awesome as The Witcher. And I don't think I have it in me to do the next one. Sorry, not yet. Somebody's got to tell me season 3 was good, and then I'll watch it. Nobody's been able to tell me season 3 of The Witcher's good. The Departed is just on here because anytime The Departed could be on, you should watch The Departed. Because you have to. Leon the Professional, we already covered that. Valhalla Vikings, I haven't started yet. OG Punisher movie with Thomas Jane. Not the OG. The OG Punisher movie was with Dolph Lundgren from the 80s. I own it in DVD form, but I haven't watched it. It's not good. It's actually kind of terrible. It's an 80s action movie loosely based on a Punisher. Well, it's the Punisher. It's just a really shitty 80s adaptation. The Irishman I never got into. Didn't watch it. One of these days I will. Didn't speak to me at the time. Hateful Eight. Arrow was good. Polka King was recommended to me. I have a friend that is a world famous polka act, and nicest guy in the world. And he's a Polish dude, and he is a famous he's recording artist in the polka community. Of course, I know a guy like that. But shout out to my boy Lenny Gomulka. What a guy. And he told me to watch Polka King. So I that's probably going to be something I watch sooner rather than later. What else is on here that's worth even noting? Nothing really crazy. I started a couple of things. I stop them. Into the Badlands. If you haven't seen Into the Badlands, that's a fantastic show. Start to finish. This is actually my thesis as to why I could not get into Marvel's Defenders, as well as Iron Fist, who I love as a character in the comics, horribly miscast in the TV show. And when you know that fight choreography like this Into the Badlands exists, how can you in good conscience? Oh, this is just the trailer for what I'm watching right now is beautiful. It's insane. But if fight choreography to this level exists and you have the Marvel budget, how is your fight choreography so crappy? Like, you have the ability to get anybody in the world, and you don't. You get this guy who's a chooch and he stinks. So that sucked. V-Wars. They tried to do a vampirism as a disease thing. I think that it was interesting for a minute and a half, and then I stopped watching it. Didn't really catch me. But it's got Ian Summer, whatever his name, Dave and Salvatore's in it. And the guy that plays Bradley from Low Bones Bradley from Letterkenny is a vampire, his best friend. Everybody's very, very attractive in this show, but it's got 10 episodes. It's from 19 V Wars Netflix series. I don't know. I like the people that were in it, but I didn't get too far into it. Fauda, I heard it's a Israeli show about counterterrorism. I heard it's amazing. Haven't seen it yet though. Big Mouth. I think I'm kind of over Big Mouth. Like, I get it, little kids, and like it's getting gross though. It's not even funny anymore. October Faction had a great concept. I think they just shit the bed with it. It was stupid. Did not do it well. Anything about Norm Macdonald, the Norm Macdonald show. I mean, RIP to one of the fucking legends of all time, Norm Macdonald. I love that guy. Afterlife was really good. Ricky Gervais. It's very, very, very touching. 1 minute, it was given to me by two people who I really respect. They said, you got to watch this show. And you'll be crying hysterically because you're so heartbroken 1 second and then laughing 30 seconds later to the point where you want to piss your pants. It's that funny. So I do it. Afterlife on Netflix. What else are we looking at here? Arrested Development, of course. Staying with the Jason Bateman thing. We have Ozark. Yeah. If you don't know about, you either watched this or you didn't, The Sandman on Netflix. It's based on one of my favorite comic runs of all time. It is just a great, great show. I am obsessed with those books. If you know me, shout out to my friend Alyssa Mizozo, the Mermaid in the Moonlight. Check her out wherever she's actually an accomplished biochemical engineer turned spiritually enlightened soul and jewelry maker. She makes amazing custom jewelry, so check out her. But she came at this in a very cool way, and she actually read all of the Sandman books while I was reading them. And that is definitely a cool thing to do. So if you don't know about Dream of the Endless, it is the greatest. Neil Gaiman, I don't even care. Sometimes I say it differently all the time. Sometimes it's a Gaiman, sometimes it's a Gaiman. One of these days I'll get it right. Not today, but he's fantastic. Gotta love that. The Gray Man was kind of cool. 1899 was also something I did not finish. But it was by the creative team behind Dark. Now, another shout out to Alyssa Mizozo, that was awesome. I try to push Dark on everybody. Now, it's not everybody's bag, but if you're looking for a show that you're like, oh my God, I've never, ever experienced a show like this before. It's probably Pandemic 2020. It was the greatest show all year. That was my number one pick all year of 2020 during pandemic. So when you had so many things that you could have come together and watched during the pandemic, I chose out of all of them, that was the show that was the best one. I will say this, there are 3 cycles, and it's not a season, it's a cycle. You'll understand why when you watch it. But the first 2 are spot on. The third one doesn't completely nail the landing, but it's still good. I had my dad watch it. Dad is a TV guy like I'm a TV guy. And I made him watch it, and he liked it. He was like, it's weird, but I like it. And it ended up being a great thing for him to check out. So it's Papa Bear approved. Altered Carbon was amazing in the first season. It did not translate in the second season. You can't just add star power and think that that's going to change it. It was excuse me, I got a hiccup. Can't have a hiccup on a live stream. It's pretty weak. Altered Carbon was good. Anthony Mackie. I love Anthony Mackie. He was It just didn't. It wasn't. I think Joel Kinnaman was in that. But the first season of Altered Carbon was amazing. I might give the second one a second go round. It just wasn't as interesting as the first one. Let's see. My list. Another amazing show on my list. If you're not, I mean, it's a little trippy. It's out there, but oh, I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a shout out to Pick Your Poison. Pick Your Poison is Pick Your Poison painting, and I just got to do a quick little housekeeping. All right, now we're back. Pick Your Poison Painting RI is my sister-in-law's new business that she's getting off the ground completely. This is a project that we put together a couple of months ago. I was helping people with business plans, and I still do that to this day. So if you know anybody that just needs something that they want to take a look, I need a business plan. I put them together for you, and we'll go over it. We'll show you how to do it. She took me up on it, and she started her own business now, where it's a paint, like a wine and paint party that she brings to your house, and it's kind of like, okay, you want to have a girls' night, and you want to do a wine and paint party. Well, this is what you do. She comes to the house, brings everything, has it catered. There might be a couple of other things that she's working on too. We're going to help her out, but definitely look into that. Pick Your Poison Painting RI on Instagram. I'm going to do a blast pretty soon to give them a go. Steve Dunphy, this is only going to be funny to me. You're watching the Infamous Times Live, baby. It's going to be a good one. So yeah, right now we're going through the Netflix list to see what am I watching. People want to know. I'm telling you. But if you're somebody a little bit more spiritually minded, or you just want something to really vibe out to, the Midnight Gospel. That's the Duncan Trussell podcast in animated form. Wow, that's a good one. Some of the best ones. I highly recommend the Damien Eccles episode. Changed my life completely. Very cool. Other than that, what else are we watching here? Honorable mention, decent series from last year. Echoes. Echoes was a cool one. It was a 1-season miniseries. Some chick that's been in some stuff. I think it might have been Evangeline Lilly or I forget. It was twin sisters. It was pretty decent. I liked it. Back to the beginning. So that's basically where we're at. What else has been going on here recently? I did not finish. I could not get into They Cloned Tyrone, and I really want to watch that one. So if anybody's seen the They Cloned Tyrone, give me some motivation. Tell me if it was any good, so I can get that to just start watching that one again. It wasn't in the first 5 minutes anything that I gave a shit about. I was really trying to, because I love John Boyega. They did my boy Finn dirty in Star Wars. I'm telling you, that could have been such a cool. The stormtrooper turned, like they did nothing with it. Would have been great. They ruined that. So John Boyega, and then Jamie Foxx has not been having a great time since before this movie came out. I want to show dude some love there. The dog movie Strays, though, tears, hysterically funny. Let me see here. Somebody tried to push Love on the Spectrum. I couldn't get into it. I Think You Should Leave. Nothing really getting me there. Muscles and Mayhem. The unauthorized story of American gladiators was fantastic. This show is insane, and I loved American Gladiators as a kid. So if you You could probably have a lot of fun with that one. That's Netflix. I think that's the last one I got there. I'm going to do some quick news just to see if there's anything entertainment-wise I got to take a look at right now before I sign up, because I'm actually not doing this all night. I've been doing this for over an hour and 20. Started first on YouTube. So if you want to take a look and find Infamous Entertainment on YouTube, I'm going to start doing some more stuff on, as we build this. I'm just getting started with with streaming and things like that. I've got a team that we're putting some graphics together. We're really going to make this out. But I wanted to kind of get a chance to do it in a raw form. Let me see, just start out and see what this looks like before I put the machine behind it. Because you're going to start seeing my stupid face everywhere. Whether it's real estate, whether it's promotional stuff, whether it's this, whether it's that. We're just going to get used to doing some stuff like this. So I have multiple Facebook pages. Each one of them is going to have a streaming element to it at some point. So depends on where you're following me. If you're following me in multiple places, I might get annoying, but you never know what I'm going to do. So we'll go from there. Let's see. One of my favorites. Let's see here. My current live stream. Okay. My current live stream. Okay. All right. Let me see if we've got any MCU news today that's come out. It looks like they dropped Ironheart. I don't think anybody's shocked at that one. Clownfish TV reports that they dropped Ironheart from the Disney Plus schedule. I didn't think that one was going to be a winner. Nobody likes that character. It's just not. I don't know. Let's check out Bounding in the Comics. It doesn't seem like there are any good headlines up right now, so I'll check something cool out. Bounding in the Comics reports, let's see. Deadpool 3 to serve as a direct setup to Marvel Secret Wars. Okay. Rumored Deadpool 3 to serve as a direct setup for Avengers Secret Wars will see the TVA pulling Marvel heroes from collapsing realities. Now, let's see. New whisper suggests that not only will Deadpool 3's multiversal shenanigans lead directly into the events of Avengers Secret Wars, but both films' plots will take heavy inspiration from the titular comic book event. Okay. Let's see here. Latest rumor concerning a Merc with a Mouth's next live-action adventure was first raised to the public by noted scooper and Geeks Worldwide proprietor Casey Walsh, taking to his personal Twitter. He writes, Deadpool 3 is a lead-up to Secret Wars. Realities are collapsing, and the TVA is picking heroes from these dying worlds and putting them in the new Earth battle world. Wolverine is chosen from the Fox universe and finds an imprisoned Deadpool. And they start an adventure. I mean, I don't hate this movie at all. I love Deadpool. I love the fact that they're bringing Wolverine in. That could be very cool. They just can't screw this up. Nothing good has come out of Marvel in ages. I'll be the first one to admit it. It's been a letdown after letdown after letdown season. they had so much momentum going into post Endgame. Excuse me. What happens? Spider-Man No Way Home comes out, and they kill it. Spider-Man No Way Home was a very good movie. Wasn't perfect, but it was good. It hit you where it needed to. The problem ended up being after that, everything sucked. Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange. Like, I have Doctor Strange going on in the hair right now for a reason. I love my Doctor Strange. Awful. Terrible, terrible, terrible movie. Sam Raimi couldn't fix that. And it was all because of meddling on the production side. Too much tinkering, man. America Chavez is not the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Neither is Kamala Khan. And you put these fledgling characters that nobody likes in the forefront. Ironheart. Nobody liked Ironheart. You know who they liked? Tony Stark. Great. You can't get him forever, so you got to do something else. There's 15 different things that they did wrong in the Marvel Cinematic Universe from Jump Street. It takes you forever to get things going, so your actors age out of the role. But really, what was Robert Downey Jr. really doing? A couple of days he had to put some green shit on his head and pretend he was doing the Iron Man thing. Like, oh, Jarvis, what are you doing? It's not. Okay, great. This is my Tony Stark. Jarvis, what are we doing? Okay, set the perimeters. Let's go. That's all you got to do. Then a couple of scenes hanging out with Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth and just going, okay, guys, what are we doing here? I'm a genius. Let's go. That's all he does. So you couldn't just keep doing that? Come on, Robert Downey Jr. Come on. But eventually, they didn't follow through with the Superior Iron Man rumors that we all thought we were going to get to Tom Cruise. That didn't happen either. Would have been cool, though. So again, all right, I've been this character for 100 years. Now, you make more money than, like, ever. Because, I mean, imagine you're probably a billionaire if you're Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans. Chris Hemsworth didn't make as much money, but he's doing other entrepreneurial things that are kind of dope, which is good for him. Leads me to Thor: Love and Thunder. I could almost forgive the awful parts of Multiverse of Madness because there was some good to it. The Wanda stuff, I love Wanda. Wanda's one of my favorite characters. No More Mutants, man. Like, that's huge. And they might need to do some Wanda stuff to bring in the mutants. I don't know. Nobody knows. It's all up in the air. I heard a cool how to bring the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the mutants into. I had a great thing the other day. I would definitely take a look. If that was put to film, I would watch that. But back to the stuff that sucked. Thor: Love and Thunder sucked. That is such a good comic run, and they butchered it. They ruined it, and I can't forgive that. It was too jokey. It was too Gore the God Butcher with Christian Bale as your character should have been it. That is one that was Taylor. That was perfect casting, and they did nothing with it. They made it look jokey. So, like, you can't let a goofy tone ruin a good Marvel movie or a Marvel story that, like, nobody, that could have been better. That could have been better, and it wasn't. And they're never gonna redo the death of Jane Foster in, like, Marvel again. They just it's the fact that they've done the Dark Phoenix saga twice and they've screwed it up. Not MCU. I know it was Fox, Simon Kinberg, all those idiots over there, but, like, I'll never get a good Dark Phoenix. Never. The best, you know what? I lied. The X-Men cartoon from the 90s did a better Dark Phoenix. And if you don't like that, read the story. It's phenomenal. Read it. Chris Claremont. I don't know. I won't talk about She-Hulk. I just refuse to. It was awful. But I was most disappointed with Moon Knight, man. Moon Knight sucked on wheels. That was so bad. Moon Knight was something that I looked forward to for ages. It's supposed to be Marvel's Batman. And his multiple personalities are a huge part of his whole thing. But none of his characters, and Oscar Isaac could pull it off. Oscar Isaac is a fantastic actor. If you're into, well, if you haven't seen Ex Machina with Oscar Isaacs, and I think you've got what's his name, Domhnall Gleeson, I forget. Somebody's in that with him. And the chick that plays the robot, who was fantastic, she ended up doing the Tomb Raider Lara Croft reboot. Laura something or other, Vulcanhammer or Vulcanizer, Vulcanvania. You know that? That's a reference. I forget. Alicia Verclair, something like that. Either way, she was good. She was fantastic. I gotta remember her name. She was fantastic in that show or that movie. But Oscar Isaac has the chops to pull that off all day. And they made him a wimp. Like, how do you make the guy that's supposed to be the Marvel equivalent of Batman a wuss? And like, oh no, do something with sit. But then you've got like that's Mark Spector isn't a baby. In I don't know. He just it just didn't come off right. So that's my thing. What else has been? Miss Marvel was not something that I'm ever going to pay attention to. It was just kind of stupid. Rich Virgilio. Oh, or is it Virgilio? I can never remember. I hope you're well, friend. Holding it down in the south tip of Rhode Island for many a year. Good for you, brother. Hope you're doing good. We're talking movies. We're talking nonsense. If you guys have a favorite movie, something that you want me to kind of critique on the fly, what do you like these days? Went through a couple of crazy things already. Just going over some news, and then I'm probably going to tap out soon. So I hope you're doing well. Hope your brother's doing well too, buddy. Diving back into this, Bounding into Comics, director of the Marvels, Nia DaCosta, concerned. I can't even get through this. I can't even get through this. Rich, just for you, I'll give you my live action Flash recap in a second. Now, if you know anything about me and how I got into really digging deep into movies, it was a couple of movies did it, but Miss Marvel was one of the ones that I had to scratch my head on because nobody saw that movie, or that was one of the biggest ploys in the history of the world to get people to do something. You made me think that movie was important to the overall. I had to see this before Endgame came out. I did not. It made $1 billion artificially because basically they bought tickets and sent people into empty theaters to see it. Yeah, to boost up the ticket prices. When Disney had the money to do stupid shit like that, they don't have the money to do that anymore. That's why Disney's in crisis mode right now, because they were untouchable for so long. And now look at it. I've been saying for ages that this was all to fluff a stock price kill so Apple could come in and buy Disney. I've been saying that for the better part of a year and a half, maybe longer now, because Apple and Amazon were the only two players in the game. And I think Amazon is looking at something different. I knew that when Apple and Disney had the rollout of the Apple Vision goggles, and Disney was right there at the Apple event with Bob Iger on stage doing a presentation about how Disney's integration with that whole thing was going to be just the next level. They were going all in on that Apple product months ago. So if you didn't think that even with the Hulu buy, even with everything else that's going on, park attendance down, none of the shutdown of the Star Wars hotel that cost them $4 billion just so they could get a few $100 million write-off on that because it was a waste. That was catastrophic. There are things that are going on. All the stuff in Disney's back burner right now, the stuff in Florida that's going on with the Reedy Creek Improvement District stuff, that's going to cripple. That's billions, and that's criminal. That's conspiracy. There is so many things going wrong with it. So long-term plays on Disney, I would get the F out. I'm no financial advisor, but I'm just the guy that knows a thing about a thing. Rich, just for you, going way back to the barbecue sauce on an English muffin days, if you remember those. Yeah, back in the struggle days, brother. Back in the struggle days. The Flash was doomed. Flash was doomed. Ezra Miller attached to that movie was a cancer, and you couldn't get him off of it. They didn't realize how big of an embarrassment and an egg on their face scenario a black guy that was going to be publicly. And as things got progressively worse behind the scenes with him and his antics, it was just one thing after another after another. Then the movie comes out, and you see that there's half-finished visual effects because they knew they weren't going to spend the extra $100 million into the effects on that budget because they were never going to get it back because Ezra Miller had already ruined that. So the parts of that movie that didn't suck, the story, I mean, you know what it was? If it was anybody else, if they spent the money to make it a different, not Ezra Miller, because I can't stand one Ezra Miller, let alone two, and eventually three in that movie. It's on HBO Max now. You want to go watch it. Don't take my word for it. That's just my opinion. But he is insufferable. He's not good. I haven't liked Ezra Miller in any movie he did. He's awful. I'll challenge that. I think that the Michael Keaton Batman could have been way better. It was cool, but they forced those cheesy 1980s Batman lines. Like, he has to say, everything. Like, it's like tongue-in-cheek. Caroline, how are you, sweetie? Good to see you. We're talking nonsense. We're talking about why I didn't like the Flash movie. So I'm watching that movie, and again, I was refusing to pay. Somebody had to buy that ticket for me. My uncle bought it. He wanted to see it because he wanted to see Keaton Batman. I told him I refused. So he got to buy the movie ticket that day because there were just there. I won't pay to see movies that are terrible anymore. I'm great. Real estate's fantastic. Solar's great. The roofing and all the stuff that I'm having fun. And nowadays I get to do stupid stuff like this from my secret hidden bunker somewhere in Rhode Island, broadcasting live. So if you want to catch up and see what Brent's doing, I'm not hiding it these days. I just don't like people knowing where I am. Thank you. I changed my habits. Everything that was keeping me heavy was mental. So as soon as I stopped doing the stupid stuff, 20 years of being an alcoholic lunatic in the nightlife industry caught up to me, and I needed to stop drinking, and I did, and I'll never drink again. I think I could comfortably say that almost a year and a half into it, I never need to drink again. And the most I'll do is a sip to see if something tastes good. I know. I appreciate that, pal. I do. But that led to no more $30 runs to Taco Bell at 2 a.m. because I was drunk and hungover and decided that whatever I was doing. I had this sick thing where if I worked in nightlife, I would just get a bunch of food and soak up all the booze so I wouldn't be hungover the next day because I used to have to work the nightlife job till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I would get up at like 7, 8, 9, 10, depending on, well, actually, who am I kidding? Before this current iteration of my life, I never got up before like 10:30 in the morning, ever. Sorry to anybody that's ever worked with me. I just had the worst. I was just like, I have insomnia. I can't sleep. So, and I had bad habits. I'm getting better. But once I got that under control, it was a lot easier to maintain like a workout routine and eat clean when I'm not just craving drunken stupidity food all the time. So that made a lot of sense. And got on with my doctors, made sure that everything was good with my blood work, got all my blood work straightened out. Yeah, I know. I miss the Bugaboo crew. I'll be honest. I say it all the time. I still touch base with some people here and there. The Creekers. We were a creaky bunch. Um, do people still go to Dave's on Post Road anymore and get grilled cheese and party? Like to the restaurants of the world, like all over that was where everybody went after your shift. And you would get annihilated and you would drink your face off and you would eat grilled cheese because it was 99 cents and you get the best grilled cheese, the fries, and the pickles. So the move, you get two, double the fries, double the pickles, and two awesome grilled cheeses from Dave's out by the airport. So we would all work at Bugaboo Creek till, oh man, I think like once or twice. It's like an old timers bar now. And that was, think about the craziness that happened because of Dave's. Oh my God. We would all get off of work at Bugaboo Creek, all hopped up on goofballs because we just ran around like a psychopath. And I was either serving or bartending or whatever I was doing at the time. And we would all oh God, I won't even name names because I don't want to incriminate anybody, but just the cast of characters that would just congregate over there and just the party would continue. And then there were just so many, the Bugaboo Creek days led to me getting a nightlife job because after the fourth time I got fired from Bugaboo Creek, that's the truth. I was good at my job, but I hated authority. I know they do, pal. But that was the best part. I was like, a manager would love me, but the regional manager would hate my guts. And I didn't think that regional managers were that smart. So they had to get fired, and then the manager would, okay, we're going to bring Brenda back again. So I got fired 4 times. But I got rehired I don't know which one, probably fired more times than I got rehired, but either way, I win. Herman was the best. Herman, Joel, Greg Tatarian, Stacy. Who else did we have that were fantastic managers? Diane, I saw Diane not too long ago, about a year ago on Smithfield at Condesa in Smithfield. Love Condesa. The Warwick location's better. West Warwick location's better. Best restaurant. Best restaurant you've been to? Paul, which one was? Wait, Paul, this guy? Like Paul that looked like the Who? The Who from Whoville? Jeff's buddy? Magic Jeff? Short Paul. I remember Short Paul. You got to remember this too. There are people that I don't remember because I was fired for a while. Paul Paterno. I don't know if I remember Paul Paterno. Could have been one of my. Who was the guy that came in from Bertucci's with Magic Jeff? Short Diane. That's why I saw Short Diane. Yeah, Short Diane. Who else is there? Good. Rico. Oh my God, Rico Healy. What a guy. Henry Hatcher. What a good dude that guy was. Hope none of these guys did anything insane. I'm like shouting them out and they end up being lunatic. Actually, I think I've kept a couple of tabs on a lot of those people. Who else? Scott ended up going over to Scott was OG. Scott was one of the original managers. Derek Childs. That's an old. Derek Childs was one of the first managers I ever worked with. He played, I think, linebacker for the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, a couple of our managers had drug problems, my dear. Don't. Not all of them, but We worked with the nightlife industry breeds lunatics. I'm telling you, it is insanity. And it was the only thing that got me ready for nightclub prowess. I'm telling you, that was probably one of the most insane times of my life. I was going to college at Providence College at night. And I was bartending during the day. I would do day shift bartending at Bugaboo Creek, get out of there as soon as I possibly could. Never find him, but in his car. Oh, I can only imagine. That place, that parking lot was so sketchy too. Like think about it now. The Bickfords, Jefferson Boulevard, was it Motel 6, the La Quinta, that was the stuff that went down in those parking lots. Shady, but oh my god! And let's say, hey, and the shady shit that we all did in those parking lots. I'm no angel. Stolen. Oh god, I've had cars broken into over there. All the time. That was not a good area, but it was a very transient spot. Bickford's. I have some of the funniest stories of my life were in that Bickford's. They were great. Great times. This was just me doing some camera test work today. I've been on here for almost 2 hours. This is interesting. I can see myself doing a lot of time just kind of popping around and yapping alone in my my bunker. Karaoke was a lot more fun at Copperfields when I would have to sneak in the back door downstairs. People who were named nameless, because this is definitely admitting criminal activities. Oh yeah, I have a hidden unit in the middle of a mill warehouse that nobody knows about. And my unit is so tucked in that people in the building don't even know that I'm here half the time. So it's awesome. That was, The downstairs karaoke bar at Copperfields in Warwick at Hoxie Four Corners. I was probably 18, 19 years old. Everybody else was 21 because I was a baby. And they would bang open the back emergency door and shut it really quick. Say, oh, and they would sneak me in. So I would never have to get by the bouncer. I was beating bouncers for years before I became one. And then I was the most asshole bouncer ever because I knew all the tricks because I had been pulling them on bouncers for years. But we went down. We had so much fun singing karaoke there all the time. I met a bunch of Black Hawk. Was it there? Yeah, because I think they ended up following us. I helicopter guys. When the movie Black Hawk Down came out, I met a bunch of dudes that were Black Hawk helicopter, like Army Ranger, whatever they were. They were the coolest. The same kind of guys from Black Hawk Down. I met those guys. But yeah, we were a cool, fun group of people. Lots of beautiful women that ran with us. All of our girls were cute. So other people wanted to talk to us. And we had fun. The Bugaboo girls and the Bugaboo guys were fun to hang out with. So we had years of fun. And how many people now, that old Bugaboo crew, ended up just being solid human beings? So many. I was going, oh, they do. But we had fun. All right. I'm going to bang out one more. Let me see. I never got to this point. The Marvel's director Nia DaCosta concerned ongoing Hollywood strikes could prevent star Brie Larson from promoting the film. I'll end with that one. The best thing that could happen to that film is Brie Larson to shut her mouth and not say a word. Because if history teaches us anything, don't worry. I am the king tangent. I love tangents. It's that when Brie Larson tries to open her mouth and do movie press, it's not a good thing. It's not. She hurts your movie. So I think that Nia DaCosta, she'll be fine. Nope, nobody cares about that one. Very cool. Trailer for the Godzilla series Monarch Legacy of Monsters reveals its premiere date on Apple TV Plus. I will watch that. I will watch that because those have been fantastic. Those Godzilla movies, there's nothing bad with those Godzilla movies. King Kong, Godzilla, like Monster Universe, those are good. You don't need to go into them with any sort of PhD in thinking. Like, it's just a good, stupid movie. You want to go see a Godzilla movie done in nowadays? It's great. I'm actually probably going to do a rewatch before this series comes out. Yeah, probably look into that. They're just fun, and I mean, we just moving into this place, upgrading a bunch of the stuff, the TVs, the just the hardware, everything higher definite. Like, I'm really getting into enjoyment. The enjoyment that I get from watching stuff again. I haven't felt comfortable in a while, just because I wasn't happy with how the setup was. Now that I'm starting to put things together the way I like it, I built in a couple of studios, spaces where I could do streaming and reviews and all this other stuff. For it's just I had been dragging my feet because it wasn't to the point where I liked it enough, and now that it's finally getting to the point where it is, I'm going to start doing more stuff like this. So, I never hated attention. I never hated spotlight. It's kind of always been my thing. I'll just run with it, see how far it goes. Nothing, no giant plans to take over the world. I just kind of dig sharing my opinions with things. So we'll go from there. I am going to wrap up because now it has been quite a while. So for YouTube, for Facebook's here. Oh, I took this down. I was going to go live on Instagram too at the same time, 3 different screens, 3 different setups, but it's exhausting. And I was streaming Twitch too earlier, but it's I need the webcam on that one too. I'll get everything going at the same time. It'll be dope. I'll have streams going. I'll probably get a Rumble stream. YouTube's going now. But I mean, eventually, I've got a lot of stories to tell, and people seem to check out, and it gets bigger every time I do it. So any ideas, anything that you want to see me talk about, get into, everything is kind of fair game as long as I can change the names to protect the innocent. But yeah, it's been an interesting story so far. So I'm happy to share it with anybody that's bored enough to listen to a guy reminisce about his war stories. So on that note, the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are my own. They do not reflect anybody else except the lunatic that lived them and thinks them and has to live in here with his crazy brain. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to leave you with this. Have a good night. If you like something, let me know. We'll have a conversation about it. I'm Brendan. You're awesome. And we'll see you next time.